Okay, I think it's really nice session. This is really nice opportunity for me. Today, I will share, I think, my experience and also some sort of my insights to you guys. So I think before I start, I want to know actually how much of you guys that has been using n8n. Can you raise your hand for anyone that has been using n8n? Okay. Okay, there's there's plenty of people actually. Um, Actually, I want to know as well, how many of you guys that are non-technical person, perhaps like product people, like people that not actually working directly with the code? Can you raise your hand? Okay, some of them, some of you guys. Okay, that's really nice. So today our topic is unlocking n8n for everyone. I think when I'm working with my company, when I'm working and meeting lots of people from different background, many non-technical people, many product people has really incredible dreams, right? Many of them has incredible insights. They want to build something, yeah. They want to actually enable us to do more. But somehow the obstacle is we actually cannot do so. They can do so. They cannot do so because the limitations. They cannot build. They cannot code actually. But now, with the power of AI, with the power of the tools that we have, that we will discuss, now they can easily build it. So let me present you an n8n actually. Okay, so thank you so much for having me. So today we are going to talk a very simple problem. So actually, we often heard about AI chatbot, right? We often use it as well, right? I mean, personally, myself, I use ChatGPT and Gemini and Cloud very much, a lot actually. Every day. So, actually, before we even start, I want to know how many of you guys that has been using ChatGPT before. So there's plenty of people. Okay, I think I mean, all of us have using ChatGPT, and today I think we want to build the same product. We want to build chatbot, but how can we do it? Is there any easy way to actually do it? So now I will introduce you to n8n. n8n is a automation platform where developers, where everyone, even me as a newbie actually can also build product myself. Without developers, without perhaps a lot of money to actually create product, we can actually automate and creating agent easily. So today we will focus on social media automation, right? Because I believe social media is a new way to introduce our product, and I believe some of you create the company and perhaps struggling with consistent posting, right? So actually, I want to automate this in this occasion. So yeah. And before we start, I want to introduce myself. So I am Aurelius Ivan Wijaya. You guys can call me Ivan. So I'm building community on Indonesia. So I'm building Cursor as an ambassador. I'm building artificial and also building Build Club. The aim is to enable people from all the background, whether they are builders, or they are developers like me, or they are non-technical people. Even some of our members is, I think, non-technical people, students. There's a lot of really amazing people that not actually working on tech, but they are really willing to learn. So in this session, we will facilitate them to create AI chatbot. Okay, next. So yeah, why AI and automation works for social media? I believe when we are creating content for our company or even for our personal usage, we actually create some really interesting pattern. This is like very predictable pattern. We research it first, and then we draft what we want to post, and then approve. We approve what we want to post, right? And then after that, we schedule it, we measure it, and iterate it. This is very basic workflow, right? And perhaps it also works for your company as well. So I think that's the reason we want to automate this, because this is predictable again. Afterwards, there's a pain points and goals that we want to achieve. We want to remove the bottleneck. We want to actually remove the bottleneck of manual posting, researching. even like scheduling, right? Because I personally often forget that to actually schedule the post. So actually, really interestingly, if you working on social media, it's good to have consistent timing on posting. Let's say if you posting every 12 p.m., it's always good to actually create this kind of habit to build your algorithm on your social media. And then what we are building today is the n8n pipeline for automated posting. So next one actually, we will also introduce the technique that we will have today, the meta prompting. So we are going to create the prompting mechanism, but without prompting. We want to ask the AI, perhaps ask your ChatGPT, perhaps ask your Cloud, ask your Gemini, to create the best prompt for our AI agent. So without even manually prompting. We want to reduce this time that we spend to create perfect prompting by using this method, which is meta prompting. And then afterwards, we actually want to schedule the post. For me, I think I will give the example on Threads because I mainly post there. But of course, this tutorial also works for you on Instagram, on LinkedIn, of course, and other platforms as well. Yeah. And how to do it? Because some of the social media like Threads, like LinkedIn, it's so hard to set up, the credential for the beginner, right? So we want to we want to enable non-technical people to set this thing easily. So we will use Buffer today. It will help us to schedule the post. It will help us to manage the posting directly to our social media. So before we even start, perhaps I think we will set up the Buffer first, right? And then afterwards, and because of MCP would be really helpful in this situation because we are communicating with a lot of tools on our workflow next. So I think today we will also introduce you guys with the MCP, Model Context Protocol. So this is, I think this is the standardization of a new feature from n8n lately. So it will enable you to actually using tools without list it down. So previously, when I first introduced by n8n, every time I create the agent, I need to prompt the tools manually. I need to actually tell my AI, bro, you should use this kind of tools, not this one. And every time I make changes with my tools, I need to update my agent, right? This back and forth, of course, frustrating, right? Because there's a lot of time that I need to spend to update my agent. So without this model context protocol, I don't need to actually update anything. I only need to update the tools, and then my agent can automatically fetch the list of the tools, actually. So it will be really easy for us in the future to maintain this automation, right? Not to forget, okay, this one for the last. So, okay, let us deep dive to the automation here. So let's move on to the n8n. So if you guys haven't signed up for the n8n, you can easily actually create your account on n8n.cloud. You can easily sign up there and get the trials for 2 weeks actually, and it will be really great for learning because you don't have to pay with your credit cards and embedding your credit account there. So after you sign up, you'll get this preview, right? There's a home, there's a lot of buttons here, but I want you guys to focus on this. So first, we need to create workflow here. Okay. Okay, so I think when you first create your first workflow, you'll be given this kind of layout here, setup. So there's a first step, there's a build with AI, there's a lot of buttons, but don't be confused, guys, because this is quite easy actually. So first, you just need to save it, to save your first workflow, okay? Can we talk? Okay, I think we'll skip it. And then give it the name of our workflow. So let's say AI automation for social media. Okay. Okay, I've done. So the first step that we actually want to do is create our first agent, create our first workflow. So we can just search agent here, and then n8n can give you the starter pack for building your agent. And then when we click it, yeah, okay, here, there will be pre-built workflow, yeah, for your agent. So there is the chat trigger, so you can easily chat. But of course, in the real implementation, you can connect it with the Telegram, with the WhatsApp, with your favorite chat apps lah. But in this tutorial, I think we can just proceed with the chat one because it's easier to set up for you guys today. Okay, and then we save it. Now, okay. So this is the trigger and this is the agent node, yeah. So, and then Ivan, what do we need to do after this? So when you see this agent, you can see there's a red dot here. Wait, let me show you. Yeah. There's a red dot here, red star. It means that it's mandatory to set up, which is the chat model. So before we can run this, because when you run this like hi, it will give you the error, right? Because you haven't set up your agent, your AI model. So we can just click here and select your favorite AI model. So today I will use Gemini. I think you can also use another model based on your preferences. But today I will use Gemini. Gemini. And then click it. Okay. So I have set up my credentials. I think if you don't have the credentials, you can easily create it on AI Studio for free. So, okay. Afterwards, I can just save it here. Okay. And then I ask the agent, hi. Okay, hi. And then if it's work, it will call the tools. It will call the model actually. It will call the model and then it will respond. Hello, how can I help you today? Okay, so we have arrived in the first tutorial. So it can reply right now. It can reply our message. But let me ask a more complex question like, choose one. Banana, apple, watermelon. Okay, so I asked the chat to choose, yeah, which one. Choose apple, okay. And then I want the AI to explain what apple, what is apple, what is apple, what is can you explain the reason you choose it? Okay, so I will ask the reason you choose it. Okay, we'll execute it here. Okay, it's actually working, but when we read to the reply, it says that's a great question, yeah, but it's confused. I need to know what if. How can this happen? Because actually we are missing some step, the memory. So the AI is working, but we are forget to actually introduce the memory. So in order to fix this issue, we will add the simple memory here. We will add a simple memory here. Okay, and then we save it. Yeah, we save it here. Click it. Okay, and then we reset the chat. And then we ask the same question. Choose which one here? Choose one. So again, we have watermelon. Okay, so I will zoom the window. Okay, watermelon, and then apple, and then also perhaps pineapple. Pineapple. Okay, so I asked the AI to choose which one here. The same question like what I have asked previously. I go with apple, and then I ask the same question. Please explain your reason. Okay. Okay, it's running. Okay, I'll be happy to explain my reasoning for choosing Apple. So right now it remember the previous chat, right? So I think we are done with the memory. Right now it can remember the context of the previous chat, and we can easily proceed to the next one. So the next one, after we are done with our model and the memory, we will set up our tool. The tool is the items, the capabilities that we want the AI to have. In this case, we want the AI to actually browse the internet, right? Because we want the AI to do research based on our topics that we choose. So we need to actually embed the AI with tools that enable the AI to browse the internet. And my option will fall to Exa AI. Actually, you can use a lot of service actually, but this is my favorite service actually. So I will just use Exa here, and then you can just sign up. You can just sign up here, and continue with Google. Okay, so I have login to the Exa. And what we need is the service that we can use to browse the web, right? We need the service that enable the AI to browse and search for our topics. So we'll go with the search here. So we'll go with the search one. Okay. And here we have the Python, the JavaScript, and the CURL. We'll choose the CURL here, and then we copy it. And then we will create the tool on our n8n. So here, actually, you can just use HTTP request. But for this demo, I will also introduce you to Model Context Protocol, or MCP, to help you maintain your tools easily. So instead of go with the default HTTP request tool, we'll go with the MCP client tool here. Okay, I'll drag this. And then we will need to, I will zoom out. We will need to create the server for maintaining our tools. Add node, and then server. And then here you can see there's the MCP server trigger. Okay, there's the MCP server trigger here. Okay, you can just, I will drag that below. And then instead of adding the tools directly here on our tools, we will add the tools, the HTTP request here on the tools on the MCP server. So we will choose HTTP request tool here. And then instead of doing it manually, we just need to import the CURL that we have copied previously here. Okay, and then import. By doing so, you will easily integrate the Exa or other services to this n8n, and then we can just change the name to Exa Search Tools. Okay. Pause. Okay. The only thing that we need to configure here is the parameters. So instead of by default blog post about AI, we want the expression. We want the expression options, and then we need to create the from AI. And then this is query. This is because we need the value to be dynamic, right? We need the AI to actually decide the value that need to be passed here. So we actually create from AI, and then query, Exa query. It can be everything. Actually, the name can be everything, but for this, I will name it Exa query. And then, wait. Okay, sure. It's done. We can just save it. Okay, sure. Okay. It's not done yet because we need to activate this workflow. Okay, we need to production URL. Exa search to MCP demo TIA. Okay. So after we configure our server, we need to copy the production URL here. Copy it. And then we paste it on the MCP client. Yeah, afterwards, we can save it. Perhaps we change the name to the internal MCP client. Okay, and then we save it. Okay, moment of truth, we will ask the AI about something, yeah, search about something, actually. Okay, we will go open the chat. We will, we will open the chat here. Open the chat here. Okay, I will zoom in. Okay, so can you search about cursor? Search, can you search about latest news of cursor? Okay. And wait, there's an error. Wait, let's check. Let's check here. Okay, there's an error here. Cannot connect. Oh, sorry. I need to activate it. Okay, don't forget to activate it. Okay. Okay, pretty sure there's a, okay. Okay, save it. Problem activating, okay, resolve one thing, okay. And just go back and then click the automations again, we activate it. Okay, okay, why we need to activate it? Because we actually need to enable the server, which is the server trigger here. And after doing so, we can just recreate the MCP client. MCP client. Okay, I already recreated, and then we can pass the URL for that, which is we can get it from here. MCP Zimo tier. Okay, it's done. We actually done. I will move it to this to make it easier to look, and then we save it. Afterwards, we will open the chat and let's see a moment of truth. Can you search latest? Can you search? Sorry. Can you search latest news about cursor? Okay, I will answer it. There's an error. Okay, no worries. There's an error. Okay, cannot connect to your selected. Okay. There's error. Okay. There's a cannot connect to MCP server. Okay. We can just check the execution here. Okay. Okay, there's error in the MCP client. Okay. It's fine, guys. We can just check it here. Okay, let's try to remove from AI. Okay, we can just save it and retry to chat. Error in the submodes. Cannot connect to your MCP server. Productions. Oh, sorry, this one. Okay. Oh, I see. I mess up at the URL. Okay, sure. I just save it. Okay. Need to save it and then open the chat. We will copy it and then we paste the same question here. So now it will run as expected here, and then it will grab the data. Actually, yeah. Afterwards, it will grab the data from the internet. Don't forget, because we changed it to the task, it will only search for the task keywords. But now, because it's already working, we can just create from AI, and then change it to query, exa query. Exa query. Okay, we're done with it. Okay, sure. It's done. We can just save it and then rerun the chat with the same questions. Because right now it's working, but as you can see, it's confused because it's only can search the task, right? And then we will fetch the data here. Can you search latest news about cursor? Okay, it will search the data here. Wait, what? It's actually fetching the data, but why it's output 0, 0? Can you search? Okay. Simple memory. Okay, it's fine. I think we can ignore the error for now. Okay, save it. Okay, because the MCP is working. Okay, we will proceed to the next one, which is right now it's already can search the web. It can already calling the tools and preserve the memory. But how to actually post the social media? Because sometimes we want the AI to post directly to the social media, right? We want the AI to schedule the social media post, right? So we need to actually create our credential on Buffer. To be honest, you can use another tools and stuff like local provider. There's a lot of local provider, or you can directly connect with Meta. But this is the easiest one. So you can just log into the Buffer, and then it will show you back to the login page. Okay, I will log in here with my credential. I will input the passcode here. Okay, and I will log in, right? I will log in here. And then afterwards, the n8n itself cannot connect with the Buffer because officially Buffer doesn't have the ability to connect with external API. It closed their API. So there's a way to actually fix this issue by using another MCP provider. So there's a two kind of MCP actually. The one that you can host it, and the SaaS one, which is the other parties like business, like the providers host it for you, so you can easily connect it with it by just using the client one, right? And the MCP that I will use, which is the MCP Zapier.com, because it's easier for us to set up the Buffer, and it will enable us to fetch the data easily. So we'll go here, and then we can just log in here, choose our account, okay. Okay, sorry, I will open my phone. Okay, sorry. Yes, it's me, 59. Okay, sure. Continue. And at first, when you first log in, you will receive the same login screen like here. And then you can just create your MCP server, right here. You can create your MCP server here. I have set up the Buffer. You can add more tools if you want. There's a Google Calendar, there's a Gmail. So if you want to create automation for either platform like Gmail, like Google Forms, it's possible because it's really easy to connect it with the Zapier MCP. There's another MCP platform, but I will choose this one. So yeah, because we actually have added the Buffer, there's no apps found here. Okay, I already added all. Okay, so here I have set up the Buffer. So now it can connect the MCP with our n8n. And then the only thing that we need to go is to connect here, the connected tab. And then we just need to copy the URL. So instead of creating our MCP server here, we will just create another client, MCP client. Okay, this one. We'll just name it MCP client, Zapier MCP client. And then paste our credentials. Okay, sure. We have paste our credentials. Okay. And then okay, I will close this one. I think we can close this. Okay, so we already set up, we save it. Okay. Okay, let's check. Yeah, so moment of truth, we will open the chat. Yeah, we will open the chat. We will reset the session, and I will tell the agent here. Can you post task to my threads account. So here, as you can see, I don't have the draft, any scheduled post or task. So I will just ask the AI to create one for me. Can you post tasks to my threads account? And it will call the memory. It will call the agent. Error, Google Gemini chat model. There's an error. Show. Wait, there's an error here. Save. There's a simple. Okay, we'll re-add the memory here. I'm not sure if. Okay, sure. We will save it here. Okay, we will re-execute actually. We will re-execute below. We will deactivate first. Open the chat, and then we copy the same question, reset it, and then we ask the same question. Can you post tasks to my threads account? I wasn't able to find any news about cursor previously. Please clarify what kind of cursor. Yes, please. Okay, because it's able right now to post to our social media account, it will call the Zapier MCP. Right here, as you can see here, Zapier MCP client is fired. And then, as you can see in the buffer, there's a task. There's a new post that's scheduled actually. So right now we can actually create the post here on buffer. This is not only working on the threads, we can actually create another automation for LinkedIn, for Instagram, and etc. So I think, so I will show the complete one, the complete version. The complete version, which is, okay, here. Save, we can just save it. Okay, so this is so after adding some, so I have prepared the workflow, yeah. So this one and this one actually, additionally I add the crawler. So instead of just adding the search for searching the news, it needs to crawl the page, right? So we need to add another extra crawler here, but that's the only thing that you need to add. And then when you open the chat here, perhaps like, can you search latest news about cursor, and then post it on threads. Keep it simple and basic. Okay, it will show. It will run the automations here. Can you search latest? Okay, I will delete this one first. Okay, how to move to draft. Okay. Not this one, not this one. Such receive tool not match with the expected. Okay. Okay, sure. Okay, we can go to the previous one. Okay, sure. Okay, we will execute here. We'll close this one. I can post to threads. Okay, so it's working here, but the only thing actually we need to fix is the AXA, right? The AXA integrations, because it's actually kind of buggy here. We have the activated here. HTTP selected tools needed. All except, sorry, not all except selected. Excel search tool. Okay. Save it. So for the AI agent, because we actually, when we posting something, we want the AI to sound like us, right? We want the AI to actually understand what we want to post, the guidelines of the social media and everything. We need to add the system message, right? We need to add the system message to enable us, to enable the AI actually to post like us and regards the guidelines. So we can just delete this, and then we can go to ChatGPT perhaps. ChatGPT, or even if you have cloud or any other AI platform, it's possible as well. We will use the style code. I think it's fine. You can just create. You are top global prompt engineer, and then we can just say meta prompt. Create for me AI agent system message that will do research on internet about given topic, and it will post to threads. And then the output that we need is a plain markdown. Okay, this way we will actually receive the markdown here for the AI agent without actually manually testing our system prompt back and forth actually. And then afterwards, it will give the constraint as well, because for some social media like Threads, LinkedIn, it has some constraint. Of course, there's a maximum words. There's a hashtag. There's some additional things that we want to keep in mind. Afterwards, we can just copy it, and then we will paste in our n8n instance, right, in the system message here. Let me know. So we will just need to delete this one, and then we'll delete this one. Okay. Okay. We just have to save it, and then open the chat, and then we can just tell it, hi. Okay. Okay. Who are you? Why it's not okay? Sorry, I will zoom it. Okay, I think it's already done here. Okay, sure. Okay, we will reset the. We will clear the executions here. Open the chat, and then we reset the chat sessions. Hi, who are you? Who are you? Why it's not? Okay, sure. We will remove the memory, because sometimes it's the issue. Okay, we create new one, save it, and then we re-ask the AI for telling who it is. We can remove it, and who are you? Simple memory output. Why it's not? I see. Yeah, I think there's some issues with the memory. Well, actually, it keeps telling me it doesn't regard the system prompt actually. But in general situations, you can just embed the system prompt here, and then we can tell the AI what to do easily, actually using meta prompting. So that's for the hands-on. So it's really easy for you to create the agent that can post to social media, like a buffer, like using those services to actually post and eventually creating your automated solution for your social media. I think that's it for me. If you have any questions, feel free to tell me, actually. Okay. Any of you guys have any question, perhaps? No question, guys?
Okay, thank you for the explanation. I wanna ask, like, can you give me the explanation about n8n compared to other platform that actually like n8n, for the example, Xavier or the new platform from OpenAI? Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much for the question. It's really interesting because previously, before I used n8n for my community, for my work, actually I started from the Zapier. So that's, I think, much more famous at that time. It's actually really similar, yeah. The Zapier, the n8n. But what make the n8n is go viral and everyone use it is because it's really cheap to get started with, right? Because you can actually get trial for learning. You can actually get the, you can actually, there's a, like the community for the n8n is really big compared to the Zapier or make.com. So it's an advantage for you to easily learn it. And compared to agent builder, okay, there's a differences between the agent builder and automation. When it comes to automation, you can automate the process. Yeah, it doesn't exclusive for the AI agent itself, but you can also automate a lot of things like data sync, like perhaps creating your own API. But ChatGPT agent is more likely to be used for creating your agent easily. So that's different. Here, n8n solve much more things, and it's really easy and cheap to host. You can host it to your VM. That's why many companies, including my company and my community, use it a lot compared to other solutions. I think that's my question. Okay, okay. Is it enough? Okay. Any other question? Okay, if there's no other question, I think I will end this session. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, I will sign up.